Good morning, everybody. We're going to go through an article from U.S. News. This is a health day reporter. Carrie Ramirez, she reports Murez. Cara Murez, that's her name. Health day reporter. She wrote this Friday, July 29th, 2022. She says, experts predict opioid overdoses will climb in both rural and urban areas because of the lethal practice of mixing highly addictive narcotics with other drugs. We just ain't high enough. Let's mix them all together and they're going to end up dying. That's what these people are doing. The coming wave of opioid overdose will be worse than ever seen before, said researchers from Northeastern Medicine in Chicago, who studied trends and used a predictive model to determine where deaths would escalate. I'm sounding the alarm because for the first time, there is a convergence and an escalation and acceleration rates from every type of rural and urban county, said corresponding author Laura Post. She is a director of the Center for Health Policy and Economics in Northwestern University. She says not only is the death rate from an opioid at an all-time high, but the acceleration from the death rate signals explosive exponential growth that's even larger than an already historic high, Post said in a Northwestern News release. Incredible. They're just predicting that the rest of this year, overdose deaths are going to skyrocket from this study that they're doing. Good morning, Geish. Good morning, Lowe's. And good morning, Eugene. Thank you for tuning in. So there's going to be an acceleration of death and OD coming soon. For the study, the researchers used data from the U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention Wonder database for 3,147 counties and areas equivalent to counties to study the geographical trends in opioid deaths between 1999 and 2020. The team was trying to determine if the geography was involved in the past waves and to theorize about any coming wave. So they're trying to see, what happened in 1999 to up to 2020 and see if they can predict what's going on in this study. The study found that opioid overdose deaths in 2020 were escalating faster in rural areas than in cities. Between 2019 and 2020, rates of overdose deaths escalated for the first time in 6 types of rural and urban counties, Post said. We have the highest escalation rate for the first time in America, and this fourth wave will be worse than it has ever been before. It's going to mean mass death. Good morning. So they're predicting, because of this study, that it's in urban and rural areas, not just the city, that this fourth wave we're about to go through in this opioid crisis since 1999. So you had 1999, the Sackler family, Purdue, Pharma, pill mills pushing prescription OxyContin, right? OxyContin kind of took wave and opioid crisis enacted. There it is. And we had a bunch of overdose because of that. And then it kind of gets settled down. And then, we fast forward to 2020, the epidemic, the way people are hoarding drugs, the way drugs are coming over different from the border, and then introducing a high spike in fentanyl. And there's another way, that's the third wave. And now because of all this, they're predicting that they're seeing that kind of spread from city to rural areas, that this fourth wave is going to be a huge disaster and mass death. The research team examined toxicology reports and found that people are using fentanyl, a synthetic opioid that is 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine, and carfentanil, a synthetic opioid approximately 100 times more potent than fentanyl, in combination with methamphetamines and cocaine. So people ain't getting high enough, just sniffing meth and cocaine. They're adding fentanyl to the mix now. So that, when you do opiates, people love the body buzz. They love the way that it takes away all the pain and whatever. But, you nod off and fall asleep. So you throw meth in the mix, and then you get, the best of both worlds there, where you stay awake, you're all spracked out, and you get that opioid numb is what people are looking for. But we as drug addicts think we know. We're not doctors. We don't know how to measure the doses, and we don't even know how potent the stuff is we get. So we're playing pharmacists, mixing our own doses, taking it, and it's killing people. This lethal cocktail can make it harder to save someone experiencing an overdose with overdose reversing drugs like naloxone and Narcan. So naloxone and Narcan, that even has a tolerance that people build up to. If people have been Narcaned enough, they grow a tolerance. Well, Narcan won't save them. And the fact that the drugs are becoming this much more potent is making it even harder for these life-saving drugs to even help. It's crazy what's going on out there. The stronger the drugs, the harder it is to revive a person, explained study co-author Alexander Lundberg, assistant professor of emergency medicine at Fittenberg. The polysubstances used complicates an already dire situation. So it's already a dire situation, and now these polyurethane substance, right? This manufactured synthetic opioids, it's making it almost impossible. They'll hit them with it, whatever. It's not doing its job. Post said, it appears that those who have died from opioid overdose have been playing pharmacists and trying to manage their own dosing. This is a bigger problem because you have people misusing cocaine and methamphetamine along with the opioid. So you have to treat two things at once, and the fentanyl is horribly volatile. So then you don't even know how much fentanyl you're getting in. And it's such a small little bit that they're using, but it's such a lethal dose. Like compared to how much you use to how lethal this stuff is, man, you're playing Russian roulette using fentanyl. People just need to, I wish it wasn't so, fantasized, or people are making it look cool. You know how it was when we were young. We looked up to people who were doing drugs and wanted to try that, and we go, and then people are trying that and they're dying. Man. Post said, it appears that those who have died from opioid have been playing pharmacists, so they're mixing their own stuff. The study author said solutions might include methadone centers. So there are often some solutions, like what can we do to, curtail this stuff? So methadone centers, which offer medicated assisted anti-addiction treatments, these are more common in urban areas. Rural areas have no medicated assisted treatment options. Post said, adding that what works in large cities is likely not as useful in rural areas. Nobody wants to be a drug addict. It doesn't matter if you're taking Percocets because you broke your back while mining, or if you're a high schooler who died because you got into grandma's medicine cabinet. We need to look at opioid addiction and overdose prevention immediately, this lady says. The only path forward is to increase awareness and to prevent opioid use disorder and to provide medicated assisted treatment that is culturally appropriate and non-stigmatizing in rural communities. So that non-stigmatizing. A lot of people won't go get help because they get onto some medicated assisted treatment, and you got a lot of people like, that's not true abstinence if you're not completely abstinent, We got to kind of break that stigmatism, because if it's something that's going to help somebody, and we got to keep an open mind and let them have a chance at their own recovery. And then in the rural areas, there's not really that much medicated assisted treatment, and so we need to make people aware. Like if you have friends and family, you know your family. I know my family. I know I got some nieces and nephews out there. They're in their late teens, early 20s. They're doing the party life. So if I can just bring it to their awareness, like, hey, you guys do not mess around with this stuff. Like meth, you don't know what's in it. You may think you're having fun at a party one night and somebody busts this out and says, hey, let's try this and go a little higher. You might be all drunk and your inhibitions are lowered. Just make them aware that this touching the stuff can kill you that night. That immediately you could die from this. And so I think as recovering addicts, we need to be advocates in spreading awareness of how deadly what is on the streets are today. It's not like it was back in the 90s or even the 60s and 70s, where free love and drugs and overdoses weren't as common as they are now. But today, man, you touch something like a sack of Coke, you don't know what it is, you take the big bump out of there, and wake up in heaven or hell. You just don't know, man. Life's over. It's crazy. JK, what's going on? Willie, what up, brother? Brent, good morning. 100%. Scary stuff, man. This article was just last month, and they're predicting a huge opioid overdose west. And then I wanted to show you this article I came across, and I kind of wish I could have found one for like Utah or other counties. Where did it go? I'm going to screen share this because it's like pretty mapped out well. But it's in Nashville. Out here in Asheville. So this is the quarterly drug overdose surveillance update for the first quarter of 2022. And this is kind of what they have been finding. Let me zoom in here because it's hard to read, huh? So the number of overdose deaths, this is just in Nashville. Where is this at? Nashville, Davidson County. You see right here. So this is coming from that particular area here in Nashville, right in this county. So you could probably assume this is happening across the country, though the East is kind of under a more disaster when it comes to opioids, especially West Virginia. West Virginia had like the highest OD rate of last year. And so as it gets further west, it's not as, but still, it's still up there. So we're looking at Nashville. We're looking at this quarterly report of this county. And it says number of overdose deaths during the first quarter. There were 173 suspected drug overdose deaths that occurred in the county, representing 7% increase compared to the same time period of 2021. So there's been a 7% increase in this county with overdose deaths this first quarter of this 2022 year. And this is what they're finding. So if you look here, it kind of breaks it down. Of the emergency room visits, number of overdose related emergency room. Oh wait, actually, let's go back up to the suspected overdoses and what they're finding. 79% of overdose related toxicology reports of 2022 have detected fentanyl, a synthetic opioid pain reliever, and has been a main driver in the increased number of drug overdose injuries and deaths in Nashville. So 79% of the 173 people died. They do a toxicology, they do the blood work. What's inside this person? Why did this person die? 79% of that 173 were fentanyl. Fentanyl was detected in their system and suspected as the reason for the overdose. Scary stuff out there. That's why I'm always saying, your next shot could be your last shot. Be very careful. Be vigilant to bring awareness to not relapse. Don't go out there and do it. Do whatever you can. Find a support system. Find your people and hang in there. So then it breaks it down to suspected non-fatal drug overdose, right? These people went to the emergency room. They didn't die. And this is during the first quarter of this year, 2022. There were 527 suspected drug overdose related emergency room visits captured by syndromic surveillance. Well, whatever that is, we'll look on page 3, representing 7% deceased when compared to the first quarter of 21, where a decrease, they misspelled that, 7% decrease to the first quarter of 2021. So 2021, they had 568 emergency room visits. In 2022, we've had 527 in this county, and 61% of the overdose related emergency room non-lethal involved non-heroin opioids, followed by heroin by 32%. So 2022 involved a non-heroin opioids, followed by heroin 32% and stimulants 7%. This finding indicates and continued to shift away from heroin and towards synthetic opioids and stimulants in Nashville. So they're seeing it switch from the overdoses aren't heroin, but they're going to this synthetic stuff, which we already know is fentanyl. And you can see this little chart they got raised out here in 2021. First, second, third, fourth quarters are up there. And then the first quarter is 173 people in this county have died due to fentanyl. And that's what's crazy is right here Look at that. These are the reports. We ain't making this up. Look right here. 2021, 75% of ODs in 2021, 75% was because of fentanyl. And now the first quarter of 2022, right here, 79.2%. It's an increase. Notable trends. During the first quarter of 2022, there were 173 suspected drug overdose deaths that occurred in the county, representing a 2% increase compared to 2021. Fentanyl, 79% of overdose-related toxicology reports in 2022 have detected fentanyl. Fentanyl. Make people aware of how dangerous this crap is. So if you look at the report, this is what was been detected. Or just look at the 2022 right here. So when these people die, they do the blood work, 79% of them have fentanyl, 39% have methamphetamine, 34% had cocaine, and then it goes down the line of alcohol, benzos, semi-synthetic opioids, and then acetylfentanyl, whatever that is, fluoralfentanyl. There's a few more things with the word fentanyl, and then kratom. Kratom you can get off the shelf, can't you? At like a smoke shop? Ugh, it's killing people. And then xylazine, whatever that stuff is. Big Willie says, there seems to be some fantasy with overdose death and having a friend that has died. This is just something I have noticed in the stories I have heard. Like, it's cool to have multiple Bro, you're not wrong. A romantic ideology with overdose death and a friend or a lover. Yeah. Yeah. And I've heard, too, that other people are enticed, like heroin. When people get into this addiction with this fentanyl and opiates, and they hear something is that potent, it entices them to use it. It's like, it'll get me that. They're the addict mind. You know, when I was drinking, is just to get as drunk as you possibly can. And it usually just resulted in me passing out or puking, right? With fentanyl, they're doing the same thing, trying to get as high as they can, right to the threshold. And if they can OD and come back, they made it there, you know, and they want to do it again. It's a sick, twisted mind we get when we start ODing. And then that romantic ideology with overdose death of a friend or lover. People are weird, huh? Looking for attention in all the wrong ways. 61% of overdose-related emergency room visits involved non-heroin opioids. That's crazy. The statistics just keep coming in. Notable trends from January to March 31st in 2022. These are the ones that required like the ambulance response. During the first quarter of 2022, there were 1,279 suspected drug overdoses requiring an ambulance, representing a 1% decrease compared to 2021, which isn't very much of a decrease because it went down only from 1,295 incidences down to 1,279. Naloxone administration among suspected drug overdoses where naloxone was given. 30% of the incidents during the first quarter of 2022 required multiple doses. During the first quarter of 2021, 34% of such incidences required multiple doses. So if they're OD, these ambulance guys show up with their kits and administer naloxone. Well, that one didn't work. Hit them again. One more. That didn't work. Multiple doses to bring these people back. 30% of the incidences. So out of 1,279 people, 30% of these people needed multiple doses of naloxone to bring them back. We are sick. I'm grateful to try to die under the bar and not under the bar. And not in the bar. Yeah, right? Me and Willie, when we get under the bench, when we get under a squat rack, we don't need a spot. We need a life insurance policy. It's death or do or die underneath the bar, baby. This is an awesome report in Nashville. I wish I'd looked and I could not find one for Utah or any other county for that matter. But this one is really well done. I wish we could have some more statistics like this in our own local areas. But then the report goes on to show you where you can get help. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So they're expecting a huge wave of overdose. And the first quarter's showing that it's kind of starting to happen. Pretty intense stuff here. All right, y'all. What is a secret? Not a secret. When is a secret? Not a secret. When is a secret? Not a secret. Addicts tend to live secret lives. It is a great relief to get rid of all our secrets and to share the burden of our past. We've heard it said that we are as sick as our secrets. What do we keep secret and why? We keep secret those things that cause us shame. We may hold on to such things because we don't want to surrender them. Yet, if they're causing us shame, wouldn't we live more easily with ourselves if we were to rid of them? Some of us hold on to the things that cause us shame for another reason. It is not that we don't want to be rid of them. We just don't believe we can be rid of them. They've plagued us for so long, and we've tried so many times to rid ourselves of them that we've stopped hoping for relief. Yet still, they shame us, and still we keep them secret. We need to remember who we are, recovering addicts. We who tried so long to keep our drug use a secret have found freedom from the obsession and compulsion to use. Through many of us enjoyed using right up to the end. Though many of us have enjoyed using right up to the end, we sought recovery anyway. We just couldn't stand the toll our using was taking on us. When we admitted our powerlessness and sought help from others, the burden of our secret was lifted from us. I definitely did not enjoy using right up to the end. I was miserable. I hated it. I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. The same principle applies to whatever secret may burden us. Yes, we are as sick as our secrets. Only when our secrets stop being secret can we begin to find relief from those things that cause us shame. Just for today, my secrets can make me sick only as long as they stay secret. Today, I will talk with my sponsor about my secrets. Any of y'all out there feeling a little bit of shame from some secrets that are hindering you? And now I say this, if you do have secrets and you want to share them with somebody, find somebody you trust. Somebody that you won't be ashamed that you shared that secret with later in life. You know, I've had some sponsors and stuff that I've shared things with, and I'm just like, I don't know, I wish I wouldn't have shared it with that guy. And I don't know if that's because I don't trust him or if I just feel super vulnerable or what it is, but it kind of went against my own code sharing it with this person, but nothing bad, nothing crazy. I should have just shared it with my first counselor. That was my most comfortable counselor. And that's kind of what I wish I would have done. I wish I'd have shared with my first counselor more than I did with the sponsor I had at that time. But it's okay. It's not like he's a god. It's nothing bad on his side. It's nothing. It's not you. It's me. It's one of those things, kind of a thing. So pick somebody that you trust. And now I have a set up friendship with somebody I've known for years and years and years. And he lives in Florida, and we have reading plans that we do together, spiritual reading plans that we do together every day. Right? We just do it on our own. We're reading it on our own. Then once a month, me and him, early in the morning, get on a phone call together. And he's somebody that I can deeply confide in. And he lives in Florida. We've known each other for years. We know each other well. And I can share things with him. And he's so far removed from my life here in Utah, my daily life, right? What I do at the gym, what I'm doing with recovering addicts, the group, all the social media stuff, that he gets a completely different view and knows and can see where my motives are and the deeper things that bother me are coming from. And that's something I've set up in my life for protection and to be able to vent things out, because I can't rely on some of the stuff around here that I'm deeply involved in. You know, I have to keep it separate. I have to. And he's one of my sponsors, if you will, good friend, confidant, somebody I can confide in. And I highly suggest you find something like that for yourself too. Set yourself up to protect yourself. And that's something that's really, really working for me. Good morning, Steffi. How are you now? How are you now? Good, and you? You should post some spiritual things for others that we could use. Okay. What I'm doing right now, the spiritual thing, is there's the Bible app. I'm a Bible guy. I'm convinced of it. Archaeology, history, books, study, research. You can't prove it wrong. But it's Professor Horner's Bible reading system. And you read 10 chapters per day. You start in Matthew, Genesis, Corinthians, and then you go to Titus, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Joshua, Isaiah, Acts. And then the next day you move to the next chapters of all those books. And then you keep going. And by the time the year is over, by the time you hit 365 days, you've gone through the New Testament like 30 times and like twice through the Old Testament. So you end up reading the Bible like multiple times. And that's where I got to keep my head at. My recovery is contingent on my spiritual condition. I move away from my spiritual condition. I start having idols of other things, drug use, partying, looking for that extra excitement in my life and distraction. I'm gonzo. I'll start drinking. And in 2 years from now, I'll be right back to a fifth, living in a trailer, living in a van down by the river. Steffi says, I woke up on time. You start sooner. I wake up on time and you start sooner. It was, I woke up early today, 5:30, and I kind of had everything pre-prepared last night. And then I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I don't want to just sit here and wait for 30 minutes. So I was like, I'll just go live now. I'm just going now. And I went live 27 minutes ago. So you can expect me to go live between 6:30 and 8. And if I've had a hard day and I sleep in, I hope that doesn't happen, and I end up sun-stroked and sunburnt, I may be on at 10 o'clock. Marion says, I never use drugs because I never have enough money. That's okay too. Don't use drugs, because if the money you don't have will be even less. That would suck. So let's jump into our book real quick. I want to recap. On Sunday nights, we were going through a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic Habits is starting to work on the systems. So we set goals, right? You set a goal. This goal is, in 30 days, I want to lose 2 pounds. Okay, something super realistic. 30 days, I want to lose 2 pounds. And if all you do is get up every day and you focus on why you're not 2 pounds lighter, focusing on that goal only could be detrimental to reaching that goal. We learn that goals in themselves are not a finish line. You don't want to treat them as a finish line, because once you hit that finish line, you could just revert right back to the old lifestyle. What we want to do is build daily habits. Daily habits. We want to change the systems. We need to change the daily habits and the systems, and that's the requirement to reaching our goals. We call those leading indicators. The goal is the lagging indicator. The system is the leading indicator. He talks about in here, and it starts off with an example of the British cycle team. They were horrible. They couldn't win anything for like 100 years. And so this new guy came in and he taught everybody how to get 1% better at everything they did, all the way down to washing their hands. And then that ended up proving a couple years later with multiple wins, record-breaking, Tour de France's, and all that kind of stuff. Habits can work both ways. They can either lead you to success or failure, and you must understand how it works and how it affects you. So in our daily challenges in our Discord, if you're not a part of it, jump in. Links are all in the bio and all that kind of stuff. We set up daily habits for August. We want to identify our daily routines and look for ways to improve it. So what do you do from as soon as you get out of bed till you go to bed? Just kind of map out your day. Have you ever heard of a spaghetti chart? I used to have to do these on base to help improve systems of flow. We would take a mechanic and say, how does he have to complete his job? And we would, give him a job to do. And then we would follow him on a map of the hangar where the jet sat, where the supervisor, where the production controller, where all the paperwork, the blueprints, the gloves, the PPE, the tools, the materials, the tape, the fasteners, the glue, whatever, right? Where did he have to go throughout this whole process to get this job done? And how can we make that smoother? So instead of going over here for his tools, over here for his PPE, over here to get a blueprint, down over here, and then to the aircraft, and then, oh, there's another part, and now I got to go clear into another building to get it, you know? How could we make him just go work on the aircraft, put everything away, boom, done, smooth, less steps, smoother. And we want to do that with our lives. It makes life better. These are the systems, our daily lives that will help improve what we do. And I love one of the examples as we get further into the book, it talks about if you want to drink more water, say your goal is to drink a gallon of water a day. He says, do a little spaghetti chart of your routine before you walk out the door and place bottles of water at your little stations. You know, you get up to brush your teeth, have a bottle of water there, chug, 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 put the cap back on, leave it there. And then your next spot is, you know, over here by the shelf where you're tying your shoes on your little nightstand or on your little end table. You could have a bottle of water, you know, put a bottle. And how can you map out? That's what our daily challenge is identify your routine and look for ways to improve it 1%. So spaghetti chart your day and see how you can improve it. Namaste, bro. Just think, Joe Dispenza, biggest healer on the planet, doing something nobody broke for lace. Yeah, it means, well, basically, words sell you, you'll see. Okay. Okay. JK says, about no money and drugs. My mom said you get too much cash, but that wasn't so. Don't work that way, unfortunately. Yep. Facts there, brother. If you guys are interested in supporting us, just remember the best and easiest way to support us is to just like and share. Like and share our content. If you come across our reels, like and share. That helps us out a ton. So we want to improve our days by 1%. That's what we're talking about. We learned that losers and winners and losers have the same goals. Winners and losers have the same goals. What's the difference there? The difference is winners actually put into action systems to achieve those goals. Losers don't have the systems, the discipline, the forth effort to put into it. They just don't. They'll plan it. They'll think about it. They'll want it, but nothing happens. Winners, on the other hand, will think about it, want it, and it'll be the same goal, but they say, okay, what do I need to do to get there? And that's what we want to do as addicts. We want to start putting forth discipline. And that's why improving your day by 1%, getting your sleep schedule under control, drinking water, getting exercise, disciplining yourself. If y'all want to know the secret to life and recovery is discipline. Like this morning, my alarm went off. And I wanted to lay there. I wanted to hit snooze. But me against me, right, was like, get up. Be disciplined. Be in charge of your body. I made myself sit up. And then I do my little routine that I've set up for the last couple of months. Thank you. Another day, another beautiful full day of mercy. I get to try again to be better than I was yesterday. And I'm going to be 1% better today than I was yesterday. I'm 43. I got to take care of this body. And I'm learning all this stuff. I wish I'd have learned this stuff when I was younger. You know, that's what I'm trying to teach my son. I never was taught this stuff when I was younger. Gen Xers raised themselves. There was a public service announcement. Look this up if you don't believe me. Public service announcement for people my age and a little older. At 10 o'clock at night on TV, it would go, boop, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Gen Xers raised themselves. And so, you know, that's a lot of, you know, the baby boomers had all their issues, you know. They had their issues. And then the Gen Xers issues were, we raised ourselves. And me, I ran away at 15 and I never went home. I bounced around lying, getting odd ends jobs, drugs and partying mostly until I hit my mid-20s or my early 20s. And then that's when meth addiction took over. And Ended up with a burglary, and from 23 to 24, I was locked up. Now, and half of that was in Michigan, half of that was here in Utah. And so I didn't really start getting my stuff together and learning discipline until I was like 25. I got a job doing construction. I was a stucco guy. I've done everything. I've done iron work. I've done sheet metal. I've painted, But once I got to doing stucco, I enjoyed it. And I did that for a long time until 2008 and the economy crashed. But by that time I had gotten to, into the construction world. So I became a truck driver for Swanson's, which was a stucco delivery company. And then 2010, I ended up working at Hill Air Force Base and started learning discipline and what it means to work hard and and I wasn't using drugs or anything at that point in time, 2010. Fast forward to 2014, I start gradually drinking. And by the time, 2018, 2019 hit, I'm a full-blown alcoholic. Fits a night, just destroying my life. So phase 2 of my life and lessons learned about addiction happened just 3 years ago in my 40s. And so now, with all that history from not raising myself, running away and learning everything the hard way to this moment in time, I'm just now learning this stuff. Man, I wish I would have known it sooner. Goal achievement is only temporary. When your goal is to have clutter-free workspace, you can organize and tidy up your workspace, and then you're happy that your workspace is clean. But when you keep your habit of stacking up assortments of documents and files on your table, not replacing them, putting stuff back where they should be, the clutter just comes right back. He talks about if you get the energy to clean your bedroom because it's a mess, you got clothes and laundry everywhere, but you don't change the systems or habits, a week from now, your room's going to be right back to where it was, and you're going to be looking for another burst of energy to get it all clean. But if we can change our little systems, and I'm trying to do this with my room, with my laundry especially, because I end up throwing a load in the washer. I go do stuff. I throw it in the dryer. I go and do stuff. And then I come back and I got a full thing of clean clothes sitting on my bed. And then I walk off and go do something in the day, in the week. And, and then all of a sudden I end up with a pile of clean clothes and a pile of dirty clothes, and nothing's changed. I just got clothes everywhere. So yesterday, with discipline, I've made myself, as soon as it was out of the dryer, I'm like, all right, man, fold your damn clothes. Just stuff, basic stuff. Fold your damn clothes. And so I made myself do that. And I feel good because now they're all clean and put away. And that's what we got to do. Damn, Gen Xers raising themselves and not learning life lessons until they're in their 40s. What the hell? That's where I'm at in life, y'all. That's where I'm at. But now that I've learned the secret, remember I just said the secret is discipline. Discipline is making yourself do the things you don't want to do that need to be done to improve yourself, which actually brings good fortune. And we all know we love good fortune. If you've seen my little video about good fortune, we love it when we find $5-10 in our pocket. We love it when the person in front of us at the drive-thru pays for us when we get there. We don't ever get sick of that stuff. And setting up these daily disciplines bring good fortune. And we never get sick of good fortune. So why not just become disciplined? That's what I'm learning in my life. Anything that I get up here on this live stream and I say, and it sounds like I'm preaching at you. No, this is what I'm telling myself all day. I'm just telling you the crap I'm learning in my 40s and implementing, and it's working. And I can't wait to see as the years go on how much better this gets, and constantly improving. Something I came across in here. This is the workbook. It's kind of a condensed version of the book we go through on Sundays. About learning. I want to talk about learning for a second too. A lot of people are under this. I totally disagree with college and its student loans and that kind of thing. Do I believe college is necessary for a lot of things? Yeah. We need those doctors who can cut us open and dig into our hearts, and they need to go down that path. Our engineers and people that need that structured, specific education. But this blanket, I need to go to school for something to be educated, is misguiding a lot of us. You are as educated as you want to be. We have the internet. We have the information of the world at our fingertips. And so if you are not learning daily, that's your fault, because you are as educated as you want to be. Steffi says, oh my gosh, that's the biggest my struggle too. My room. I feel you. I was so proud of my clean room, and now dirty clothes pile and clean clothes pile up equal biggest trouble spot in my house. I'm right there with you, Steph. We just got to change the habits that make that happen. Just little stuff, right? Productive knowledge and relationship builds up. Completing an additional task every day does not only give you a sense of accomplishment, it enables you to master a new skill, allowing your brain to focus on other areas that you can develop. Learning one new thing each day opens your mind to new ideas and ways of thinking. Learn new things every single day. Since I've been on this journey, and this journey really started for me when I started that 75-day strong. Well, it started when I hit recovery and I started learning and I started putting stuff into practice. And then I was super out of shape and I started getting back into shape. And then I wanted to take it to the next level. How much more healthy can I get? Playing catch up because I'm 43 years old now, right? Destroying my body for all those years. And now I'm trying to become educated because you can teach yourself all this kind of stuff. There's books. All you gotta do is read and listen. You can listen to Audible. You can stack habits. If you're out driving around in your car, stop listening to music. This is a suggestion. You don't have to do whatever you want. This is what I'm doing. But I've listened to Audible books now, like all the time. Every chance I get, I multitask an Audible book. And then when I get home, I have other books that I'll sit down and I'll read. And you don't have to sit and read for 400 hours and spend a whole day in a chair reading. You know, you can literally just sit down any chance you get and read a few paragraphs. And that's a little bit of pressure every day, and it puts it in here. Usually it'll kick you into a little zone and you'll end up reading a little longer. But I've learned so much. And then you're underestimated, right? People don't know, oh, you've never been to college. Oh, you're not an educated person. But they really don't know what you know. And you can become underestimated. People don't know. People don't know how smart you are, which can be a good thing too. So learn, education. You are as educated as you want to be right now. Your daily habits, your daily structure over the last 10, 15 years, and how much you know is all on you. Because we all can be more educated. Trust me. Goal achievement is only temporary, right? You got to set up systems. 3 goals. A goal limits your happiness. Some people hinge their success and happiness on achieving their goals, forgetting that there are various ways you can succeed and feel happy. The journey itself, or pursuing your dream, can be a source of joy. Even if the result, it is not exactly how you envisioned it. It's that love in the process thing. What really got me to enjoy the daily grind and process, though I still have my fears, I still get my worries and ups and down times, right? When I was doing that 75-day hard challenge, I realized day 75 and at the end of it is the end of the challenge. That's the goal. That's the finish line. And it only lasted 5 seconds. The pat on my own back was 5 seconds of look what you did. You did it. And that's it. Right? Where did I spend 99.9% of my time? In the first 75 days of the process. And so I've learned to enjoy that. And that's where I'm starting to get my happiness out. Like this morning, getting out of bed, coming down here, preparing all this stuff, setting all the way everything looks right now, reading this. That's where I'm enjoying life now, because that's where we spend most of it, is in the struggle. It's kind of weird. There's joy there. A goal does not support your long-term process. Like I said, if I hit that 75 hard, I just go right back to that and nothing's changed, and then it was worth nothing. But it's actually set up daily disciplines and structures in my life that are going to continue to improve. And 1 year from now, hopefully I've grown past what I am now, and I'll be spitting out other stuff. So here's the lessons. Get 1% better every day. This leads to habits that compound actions, positive effects on yourself. Habits can work for you and against you. So we got to find those bad habits that are working against us, rid of them, and replace them with habits that are working for us. It takes time to reap the fruits of our small actions. We need to be patient and stick to our habits. To reap the fruit of our habits takes time. Be patient. Atomic habits are anchored on small changes that lead to incredible results over time. A system-focused mindset brings better results than a goal-focused mindset. What's your goal? lose 20 pounds. Oh my God, I'm not 20 pounds lighter. Oh my God, I'm not 20 pounds lighter. And if that, you know what I mean? If you're just sitting pissed off about that, focus on the things you need to do to get there. Change your mindset off the goal and put your mindset on the daily systems. Issues that surround this subject matter. Why is it more difficult to form good habits than it is to break bad ones? Why is it not ideal to make dramatic changes to achieve significant success? Another question. What challenges have you experienced while building a habit? It's the mind. It's the mind, patience, and the fruit. We're addicts. We want it now. We have a hard time putting in the work and waiting. So how can you identify the habits which you want and those which you don't want? What can you do in your life to identify, and that's part of our August challenge, is to identify your daily routine, look for ways to improve it by 1%. So how can you identify the habits which you want and those which you do want? Try this just for fun. Oh, I didn't lose audio. Hello. Try this just for fun. Draw a picture of your house from where you just do like a blueprint with crayons. It doesn't have to be nothing fancy. And map your steps through your house one whole day. Once you go do a couple things, go to your little map and draw what you just did. Once you do a couple more things, go to the map and just do that throughout the day. You know, if you leave for work and you come back, what door did you go out? Which door did you enter? What did you do when you got there? Map it out just to see. That's one way you could get a little bit of a different view of what you do in your house, because everything becomes so automatic. We have habits ingrained in us that we don't even realize. The way we tie our shoe. Do you put one sock on, one shoe on, and then your next sock and then shoe? Or do you put both socks on and then both shoes on and then tie each shoe separately? Or are you a sock, shoe, tie? How do you tie? Do you tie your left shoe first with your right? You really don't even really think about it now, as we're, it's so ingrained in us. But those are habits that we have. How do you walk into a room and flip on the light switch? Those type of daily habits are ingrained in us. Think back on a time where you had to labor hard without any results in sight. Yet when you finally reached your goal, how did you feel? Correlate this to the plateau of latent potential. The plateau of latent potential is something we go through. It seems difficult. We're not getting the results we want, and a lot of people give up. But if you get through this plateau of latent potential, which he refers to as the valley of disappointment, if we can press through that valley of disappointment, we will see success. So where have you seen that in your life, where you struggled and you worked hard without any results, and then it took a minute and then you saw results? Think about that. So here's our goals: is how can you overcome the challenge of habit formation? Reflect on where the areas in your life which can benefit from positive habits and kicking away from the bad ones. Think of a habit that you find difficult to develop. List down the challenges that you experienced or are currently experiencing while developing it. Brant says it takes 10 positives to correct out one negative. Dang, it does take work. And according to the 75 hard challenge and the 75 strong challenge, it takes 66 days to build a habit, which is why the 75 hard challenge was presented, because that puts you over 66. Let's see how everybody's doing. See how everybody's doing up in our August challenge in the Discord. Discord is in the description, the link there if y'all want to join and you haven't joined yet. So, all right, here's our 30-day challenge. Renee Reborn Low says, I wish the meetings were still on. They can be. Anybody that wants to go into here, what you do, let me show you real quick. Scheduled Zoom room right here. Grab this link. It's my Zoom account. I've set it to open free for everybody. Drop it in this main chat. Copy and paste it right there in this main chat and say, let's have a meeting. Anybody can start a meeting at any time. You don't have to wait for anybody to initiate it. You can drop one yourself and ask and invite people to show up and start having meetings. This Discord is for you. It's a tool to utilize. I with what's going on here at RA local and stuff, I don't have time to run a Zoom meeting every day like we did during the epidemic. But anybody that wants to volunteer, anybody that wants to put in the work and volunteer to run a meeting or two a week or one a month, drop that link into the main chat and say, come join me for a meeting. So Renee, if you want to do that, that's an option for you. You don't have to wait for somebody else to do it. Savage Freedom. Good night. 10:05 p.m. Putting the lights out. Good morning. 7 o'clock. Doing her schedule. It takes a minute to get that sleep schedule under control, but once the sleep cycle kicks in, it's awesome. I can't even keep my eyes open till 12 anymore. It's like, wow, my body says it's bedtime. I didn't even wake up last night either. Usually I usually wake up around 2, like it's just like an automatic. I wake up at 2. Sometimes I gotta go to the bathroom. Sometimes I just roll over and it's 2 o'clock, right? But not today. I woke up and I was like, oh, must be 2 o'clock. Looked at my little clock. 1 minute before my alarm went off at 5:29. I was like, whoa, slept. I did sleep all the way through the night. What the heck? It's kind of nice. Geesh is listening to Daily Stoic. Love it. Today is grateful for his desire. Clean clothes, shoes, food, water. Luna, our house. Luna's the dog, right? Late night bike rides. Did you get your bike fixed, bro? Things I admire about myself. Dependable, honest, driven. Beautiful 1% improvement today. Check. Good night. 10 o'clock. Love it. Jen Ray. Doing some high intensity interval training. Full body workouts. Love it. Good for you. Oh, nice. My family. Oh, she's out there with her family. That's good. Restoring relationships. You're not crazy. You're codependent. Oh, that looks like a good book to look into. What everyone affected by addiction, abuse, trauma, toxic shaming must know to have peace in their lives. You're not crazy. You're codependent. That looks like a good book. 1%. I improved. Threw out all my junk food. Drank 1 pop. Was engaged in conversations. Cool. You always find the best books, right? She does find the best books. And Renee doing her stretching. Gratitude list. Ethics, integrity, honesty, sincerity. Love it. Drinking the water. It was a good day. Need to get rid of unhealthy snacks. Not too crazy though. Don't make too much stress about it. Remember, these are just little daily changes, little 1% changes. We're in the long run. We're in the marathon. We're not in the sprint. Oh man, you can't hardly see that, can you? I broke the axle. Damn, I broke mine once too. I actually broke my pedal shaft too. It just snapped. Like, you got the sprocket here and then the pedal, that shaft thing snapped it. The guy said I was lucky it didn't go through my calf. It did give me a good scratch though. Had to get that fixed. 7 o'clock bedtime. Sweet. 7 o'clock here anyway. Protein chips. JV, if you're watching, what do you think about these? Fleece ordered us some too. It's like, it tastes like dog food kind of. That's what my son said. Like, this tastes like dog food. These are good protein bars. Yummy. Last but not least, for all of you, your strength, commitment, and drive on this amazing pathway stands as a beacon to many, definitely to me as well. I love you all. Stay safe, stay sane, stay strong, stay sober. You're worth it. JV, inspiration as always. And if you guys don't know who John B is, get a hold of him. Super nice guy. Super inspirational. Great life story. And where he's at now currently and the discipline he's enacted in his life is just amazing. B-Jans out there finding pretty ladybugs. Tried to get out of my truck last night. As soon as I opened the door, it flew onto my arm to say good morning. That's cool. Nice little sign. Slow down and say hello. Day 3, I'm grateful for waking up this morning, feeling my sore body, the air in my lungs, and a good job. Lunch with my wife. Beautiful educational videos. Health watching my kids enjoy life, house, and positive people. That's so cool, brother. Beautiful morning picture. Very cool. I know where that's at. I know where that's at. Yeah, my legs are still sore too from Monday, and my back and chest from Tuesday. Last night wasn't a sore workout. That one was to get the blood flowing and push out all the lactic acid. Mike L. It's August 4th. He has not posted anything. Y'all know what that means. This is a sad day. We delete the channel. Mike L., you're out. Sorry, bud. Little Miss Happiness, August 4th. We're worried about you. Little Miss Happiness, get back in there. It's okay. What's the dates on these? August 3rd. Renee's like, come on, post. She'll try again tomorrow. Okay, she's out of the running for the merch package, but we're gonna keep her here because we want to encourage her and strengthen her. Just press. It's okay. We struggle, but we're here for you. We are here to support and help you in any way we can. Let's plan on a meeting. I'll hop on with you at any time. Yeah, there you go, Steffi. Way to take charge of that. Awesome. Yeah, that Zoom meeting and the Discord and Recovering Addict, I have set it up to be a 24-hour support. Voice, visual, face-to-face activated if you wanted it. Anybody at any time can copy and paste that link into the chat and say, join me. And you'll guaranteed to get 2 to 3, sometimes 25 people show up. So everybody's always waiting for somebody else to take charge and put the Zoom link in there. And if nobody does the first step of starting it, but they want to show up, if somebody else does it, I'll be there. But, nobody will actually. It's okay. As long as everybody knows that it's there. Crystal in the house? So today, what's today? Thursday? Wow, Thursday, August 4th, 2022 already? Time's flying, man. Enjoy today. Maybe your last one. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Yesterday, it's gone. Don't worry about it. It's gonzo. Let's focus on today. Let's improve our lives by 1%. Let's be in good moods. Let's check our knee-jerk reactions. Are we hungry, angry, lonely, tired? I heard a guy talk about it this way before. He was talking about snapping at his children. He goes, before you snap, just say pause, yell the word pause. And it makes the brain shoot the nerves back up, the knee-jerk reaction to just act, shoots it back up the spine into the frontal cortex of the logic part of your thinking brain. When you yell pause or stop or count to 10, you snap a wrist thing on your rubber band on your wrist, whatever you need to do. Let's try to use some of that stuff today and not overreact or in anything. Let's have a good, positive, beautiful day. It is a good, positive, beautiful day. The weather here in Utah is amazing right now. I'm going to go on my bike ride. I'm going to take the dogs out. I'm going to hang out with Zylan. We're going to get some things done. I'm going to edit some videos. Recovery Day is coming. Recovery Day, if you're a Utahn, at the Ogden Apmpatheater, September 9th from 4 to 9. It's going to be fun education, multiple boosts of recovery, a bunch of recovery people in Utah mingling, learning how to help each other. Going to a concert tonight with the family. Nice. Yes, so everybody have a great day. We will be back Sunday, and Sunday night we are having a special guest from Chicago, a SWAT team member, recovering addict, recovering alcoholic. He's a psychologist now, super smart dude. I'm excited to hear from him this Sunday night. So we're having a speaker meeting this Sunday. So until Sunday, y'all, let's have a little prayer. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I will see you Sunday. And until then, do not put yourself in a high-risk situation. Stay strong. Work your program. And remember, we recover better together.